Artists from far and wide are turning serene local scenery into beautiful works of art. It's for the first ever Paint Grand Traverse in Traverse City, and Lauren was able to soak up the sun with some artists painting on Old Mission Peninsula this morning.
Yeah, we could not have asked for a better morning to be out on the patio of Vinoba Winery. Artists from the Mitten State down to Texas, Oregon to Massachusetts, and everywhere in between are in town to showcase their impressive skill.
We spent a lot of time looking at it, deciding what area we want to paint, what's the focal point, what's the area of interest.
Then Kristen Hosbine's paintbrush meets the canvas to begin to translate what she sees in front of her during the first ever Paint Grand Traverse, a plein air affair.
It started with the Impressionists in France. When paint went in tubes, they could take it outside. So that's what they started doing.
She's surrounded by the same landscape she's bringing to life.
This area is spectacular because you have the layers of vineyards and trees and water and distance where some other places you might not have that drama.
A dramatic scene calls for dramatic colors.
Mixing the color, the mud, like musical notes, the high notes, the low notes, the fast notes, the slow notes. So we alternate between colors that way.
People were invited to watch as 44 artists from coast to coast filled the patios of 3 northern Michigan wineries.
They're capturing these landscapes and waterways that are so iconic to our region. But you know, for me as a local person, it's just so cool to see these views that we live with every day and are fortunate to live with every day kind of reinterpreted and seen through their eyes.
They're all seeing the same gorgeous green and blue view over the vineyard, but each tiny detail and flick of their wrist makes them stand out against one another.
You can have 40 artists looking at one scene and they'll all paint it differently.
That ability to trade tricks along the way is part of what makes the experience complete for Kristen.
Always fun because you get together and you get to we talk paint. We say we fling paint, and then we talk about supplies or structures or mediums.
She hopes the finished product gives people the same sense she feels as the paintbrush glides across what used to be an empty canvas.
I hope it makes them happy. I mean, because it makes me really happy, and I think that artists translate their energy into the canvas.
Absolutely true.
Spot on. Did you see the transition at the end?
Yes.
It was so cool. So cool
gorgeous
to watch, and just amazing to see how everybody's pieces were so different. And they were all in the same exact spot. And seeing their paintings made me see things that were actually in front of my eyes that I wasn't noticing before.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, you talk about the artist's eye and sort of how they see things differently, and I guess it does result in, 40 different interpretations of basically the same landscape.
Absolutely. So they have events happening all week, so we will give you a little preview of what those are in a little bit on the floor.
Well, a new colorful festival is taking over northern Michigan. It's called Paint Grand Traverse, happening at a few different locations throughout the week. Lawrence Gaffiti visited Vinoba Winery on Old Mission Peninsula this morning to see how artists will continue to celebrate.
Hey, Charlie, the artists are finishing up the last little bit of their 2 hours that they have here at Vinoba to paint the beautiful scenery behind us. But there's a lot going on the rest of this week for Paint Grand Traverse. Megan, what else is on the agenda this week?
Well, our big event tomorrow is called a Quick Draw Competition, and that'll be out at Fountain Point Resort on Lake Leelanau. That event is free and open to the public. The deal with that is the artists, and we'll have 100 artists at that event. They have 2 hours to complete a painting, and then we'll do a quick sale. We'll also have food and wine and live music, and it's just going to be a great kind of festive, exciting atmosphere.
Excellent. And then the kids can get involved too this week. How can we get them involved?
That's right. On Friday, we're doing what we're calling our pint-size paint-out for kids. That's going to be in Hanna Park, right next to Crooked Tree Art Center in Traverse City, and we will have some prizes to award for the older kids, and that's open to kids ages 4 to 15. There's no need to register, and it's free to participate.
Excellent. Will it be just like this? Something like this, where they come out and they paint what's in front of them, or what will they do?
That's right. We're going to send them out into the park, and hopefully they'll get some cool paintings of the river, or the trees, or the flowers, or whatever makes their heart sing.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And then Saturday it wraps up. How do we wrap this up?
Saturday is the big gala finale. That'll be at Crooked Tree Art Center, and that's going to be a great party. We're going to have refreshments and food and live music, and Saturday is kind of the one opportunity to see all the work that's been done this week and buy it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for letting us join you here at Bonobo. If you're watching, something catches your eye, you can come get it on Saturday.